thrown about, tossed about, misused, applied improperly. It's not about Britney Spears kind of love. I'm talking about the kind of love that overcomes fear. The two most powerful emotions in the world are fear and love. The terrorists use fear as a tactic. September the 11th in this country, there was fear. And then love overtook fear quickly. Love is the only force that can conquer fear. The love of Americans for each other, their willingness to step out and put their life on the line to help their fellow man. Love overtook fear immediately after the attacks of September the 11th. The Scripture says, no greater love hath any man than to lay down his life for a friend. The men and women in the uniform of our armed forces understand that. They actually exceed that scriptural call and are willing to lay down their life for people that they will never meet because they love their country. They love what it stands for. They love what it means. They love it enough to answer that call. That's the kind of love that I'm talking about. I tell you what I thought about when I was thinking about this kind of love. I thought about standing as I did among the white crosses in Normandy, France, above Omaha Beach. And as far as you can see are white crosses. Some of the bravest people in the history of the world are interned there because their love exceeded any other emotion or any other part of their being. And then tenacity. If courage is 50% of success, tenacity is 40%. Tenacity. Perseverance. Never let go of it. Never give up. Never quit. This is the land of opportunity. Why do people come to the United States and succeed when they can't even speak our language? Young Vietnamese children all of a sudden become national merit finalists. They didn't even speak their language, our language, when they got here. Why? Perseverance. Tenacity. They're not going to let this opportunity slip through their fingers. Tenacity makes the difference most of the time in success or failure. Perseverance. There's all kind of successful people that didn't have the advantages that we may have. Maybe they weren't quite as good looking. Maybe their parents didn't have resources. But tenacity makes up for a lot of things. Now, I know all you math majors are saying, he said courage was 50% and tenacity is 40%. What's the other 10%? I would say the other 10% is all the rest of it. It is your advantages. It is maybe you got a head start. It is maybe your intellectual capacity. But I got to tell you, all of that is a minority compared to the guts it takes to go for it and the tenacity it takes to never give up and to say, I am going to stay on this until I do it. Period. That's leadership. Perseverance. Call it whatever you want to. I had a high school basketball coach that I loved. He taught me the 32-word definition of motivation. And I know it's a crazy definition, but I'll never forget it as long as I live. Motivation is the stuff that permeates your entire being when you have a clear, vivid picture in your mind of what you want and an intense, burning, all-consuming desire in your heart to fight for it. Motivation is the stuff that permeates your entire being when you have a clear, vivid picture in your mind of what you want and an intense, burning, all-consuming desire in your heart to fight for it. That's motivation. To me, that says perseverance. That says stick-to-itive. It took a kid like me who was not even big enough or fast enough to make the basketball team in middle school. I became the MVP when I was a senior. Out of nothing but tenacity and perseverance. Throw a little courage in there, but the truth is I just stuck with it long enough and it paid off. That's leadership, though. That's leadership. Submission, courage, love, and tenacity. Now I'm going to share with you the killer C's in terms of leadership, because these three things can destroy a leader and can very much water down effective leadership. Comfort is one of the killer C's. Everybody seems to want to be comfortable. Comfortable is no place to be. If you're comfortable, get out of that comfort zone. If you're not stretching yourself, if you're not making yourself feel uncomfortable, you're not growing, dude. You're not leading. You're not preparing to move others to a better place. You have got to get out of your comfort zone. And in this country, we want to be comfortable too much. The saying, no gain without pain, is absolutely right. Vince Lombardi said, fatigue makes cowards of us all. Yes, fatigue is good. It's not comfort. You're tired. You're exhausted. You're out of your comfort zone. That's leadership. Get there. Stay there. Test yourself. Push yourself. Question yourself. Don't be comfortable. It's easy to get comfortable. You will not be a great leader if you stay comfortable. Convenience is another killer C. Everybody wants convenience. They want it now. They want what they want, especially in this country, because there's such incredible opportunity, because we are the heirs of the greatest generation. We inherited this greatness, so we want everything at the tip of our fingers. But I got to tell you, there's a lot of beauty in the struggle. Not much beauty in the convenience. Anything worth anything is worth a struggle. Don't fall into the trap of convenience. And then the third killer C is cynicism. I see it all the time. I see it all the time. There's more cynics now than I've ever seen in my life. You hear it everywhere you go. People don't believe anything. People don't believe that public service is a noble calling. People don't think that you can be a public servant. People don't think, they really don't think that anything matters anymore. But let me tell you, don't waste your time on cynical people. Don't waste your time on cynical thoughts. And don't be a cynic yourself. Public service is a noble calling. It is fundamental to our way of life. It is where responsibility and freedom meet, and they're both necessary for our way of life to be extended to the next generation. And the cynics never have made a difference. And there are more now than I've ever seen, and they're getting in the way of the good men and women like you and me that really want to make this country all that it can be and are totally committed to making sure that those that come behind us have the opportunities that we've had. Don't fall in that trap. Now, let me switch gears to character. From leadership to character, obviously the two are related. Our character is not born out of our victories. Our character is not born out of our good days. Our character is made through our adversity. Our character is even developed through our mistakes. The greatest generation is the standard in the United States of America. Indeed, they sacrifice more than anyone has. But it was the adversity of their time that made them the greatest generation, because they have the character that is paid forward through our generation in our country. But that adversity is what gave them that character. And we need to remember that. We need to remember what gives us our character. It's our mistakes. It's our losses. It's the time that we didn't make the team, and then when we did make the team, we had more character. It's the time that we lose a campaign, and then when we win a campaign, we have more character. It's even the times where you make a mistake and how you respond to that mistake that makes you a person of character. How do you get up off the ground? How do you get back in the game? What does it take? That's all about character. Let me tell you a couple of stories that I found very, very moving when thinking about this whole notion of learning from our mistakes and experiencing benefits from trials. I was in South Africa 3 years ago. I was meeting and talking to a group of parliamentarians in a place called Mpumalanga, which is a province. It's like a state in South Africa. And these are new members of the African National Congress, black parliamentarians in Mpumalanga who were imprisoned under apartheid. One of them